And we are live at Bobby Lackey Stadium, where it is a victory for the Weslaco Panthers tonight, 21-6 over the Mercedes Tigers. Carlos Robledo, along with Mike Gonzalez, and you can hear from the crowd, they are excited about this big victory tonight for the Weslaco Panthers. That's right, the rivalry is back between Mercedes and Weslaco, and tonight it is the Panthers coming up with a 21-6 victory. Mike, your impressions on this game?
Well, Carlos, Meatloaf had a classic song, because 2 out of 3 ain't bad. 2-1 going into the bye. They should feel pretty good. I mean, it wasn't the prettiest game, but they made some plays when they needed to. I mean, you know, the first half, they got off to a slow start. The Mercedes defense, you got to give them credit. They shut out the offense to 0 points, really, because 7 points came on a turnover, and we'll talk more about that later. But, yeah, I mean, I think Coach Tony would feel pretty good. I mean, winning 2 out of 3 non-district, you know, I think any coach would take that.
For the victory now for Coach Tony Villarreal. 102 victories on his career now, so he is now in the top 100 list of all-time wins in the state of Texas, a career that started in Port Isabel and now here in Weslaco. 102 victories for the head coach in Weslaco, and now he's on that all-time list.
Can you believe that, Carlos? I mean, I remember in high school hearing about Coach Tony in Port Isabel. I remember 1994, they went to the state semifinals, Class 3A, and he had success at PSJ North, giving the school the first ever district championship. Then he goes to Brownsville-Hanna, where they win a district title here. Then he comes to Weslaco, and we have a decade of success with him, where he's only missed the playoffs only 1 year. And so, you know, that shows the kind of coach he is. He's a heck of a coach, and the Panthers should feel lucky to have him.
And let's bring on a couple of our guests right now, because the defense, once again, an outstanding game. Brandon Mendez, Andrew Elgin, I know you guys wanted a shutout there towards the end of the game. They score 6, but just first of all, talk to me, Brandon, about this game and just how well y'all played against the Tigers.
I want to give my hats off to Mercedes. They played a very good game. All week we've been working hard. The coaches prepare us to the best of their ability. We really wanted the shutout, but it didn't happen, and we have a week off, and then we're going to get ready for East.
This is the game where it looked like the Tigers were rolling against, you know, the Panthers. In that first quarter, they were moving the ball down the field. They even scored, but they got the points taken off the board because of a penalty. And then, Andrew, you come up with the big interception that goes back to the house, a pick 6, to make it 7-0. Weslaco, what did you see on that play?
I just owe it all to my D-line. They did a good job of forcing that fit. I mean, I don't know, he threw it up. Yeah, I don't know.
What were you guys playing in this game? Just kind of tell me. It looked like you were just kind of back there a little bit, freelancing a little bit.
I was just trying to get that good press.
Brandon, I want to get your thoughts. You know, a few weeks ago, Georgia Ranch came into town, and it was a tough loss. You know, and everybody was disappointed. I remember Coach Tony was disappointed. You guys were disappointed. But just talk to me about how much you guys have grown from that game till tonight.
Yeah, the George Ranch game, it didn't really go our way, but it was like a learning step for us, and we really prepared for these next 2 weeks, and that shows. People doubted us in this game, but we knew we didn't doubt ourselves, and we came out on top.
Andrew, what was your preparation for this game? You knew that you were going to have opportunities to go in there and make some interceptions and to make some big plays, because not only did you have that interception, but you also had a tip pass there in the third quarter where it was a 3rd down and long, and that forced into a 4th down as well. So you had a big game tonight.
I saw the running the coaches put us through, all that training. It's paying off for all of us. Hats off to the coaches.
Last week, you won on the road last week in San Antonio. How does it feel to win here at home in front of the home crowd and everybody here tonight?
It's the best feeling. I mean, you have all your people here watching you, and you're just trying to play your heart out. It's the best feeling.
We knew that Mercedes was going to come in and they're going to throw the football. You know, and you guys have given up some, you know, deep passes, you know, in the first couple of games. So you guys had to prepare for that. However, you know, they did get some passes, but for the most part, you know, you guys did very, very well. I mean, just give me your thoughts on that.
We were just preparing for the pass. That's all we really were worried about. I mean, because the past games we weren't really there. We weren't really all there, but we did a pretty good job this game.
Why are you nervous, bro?
You know, Brandon, talk to me a little bit about the hype coming into this game. Obviously, Weslaco Mercedes, an old rivalry that goes way back. You guys know each other.
Yeah.
practically grew up each other, played different sports against each other, and it all tonight. What was the hype leading up to this game?
We knew that there was a lot of older people talking because it was their rivalry, and we just brought it back this year. The coaches did a good job of keeping it off social media. Everyone did their part. You don't ever hear trash talking from the players. It's all the fans and whatever. They get hype, and we just play our game.
Now the real season starts. District play starts in a couple of weeks. Do you guys feel like you're ready now?
Yeah, we got this week to prepare, and then we're gonna hit it hard next week. Yeah, I think we're gonna blow East out.
All right, well, already the talk has begun between Weslaco and Weslaco East. I'd like to thank you guys for being on the set. Brandon Mendez, thank you very much for being there. Annual game, good game tonight. We're going to go ahead and let you guys exit the stage over here as we'll bring in a couple of other football players because once again,
guys.
It was a victory. Congratulations, Brandon, and once again, a victory for the Weslaco Panthers, 21-6 here. Panther fans are still here at the game, and let's bring up on the stage now. We got a couple of more guests as coming on will be Coach Tony Villarreal. Isaiah Ramos also coming up on the stage. And Coach Tony,
hey, Coach.
first of all,
Congratulations.
Congratulations. In the top 100 of all-time wins in the state of Texas, did you ever think when you started your career as a head coach in Port Isabel that you would end up here at Weslaco with this type of, this many victories?
No, really, I really didn't. You just, as a coach, you just try to get a little bit better and coach and try to work on your team, and you never think about those things. It just kind of creeped up on me. But I tell you what, Weslaco's been very good. I think we're close to 80, 90 victories just here in Weslaco. So that's quite an accomplishment with the community and the parents and the kids and school board and everybody. It's a total team effort. It ain't just Coach Tone, let me tell you.
Well, Coach, it's kind of like you've been across the valley now in different high schools, but the majority of your career has been here in Weslaco. Mm-hmm. So if you ever go into the Hall of Fame, I think you're going to go in a Panther.
Yeah, I think so. I think I bleed purple. There's no doubt about that. Yes.
Coach, just kind of give me a little perspective of where the team is at right now. You were here a couple of weeks ago, and, we were all disappointed. It was a tough loss. George Ranch is a worthy opponent. But I remember, I know you, Coach, for all these years, and you always tell me, non-district, it's game by game. All you ask for is for everybody to improve little by little, little by little.
Yeah.
Okay, now we finished 3 games.
Right.
Where is the team at right now?
Well, right now, we're really improving offensively and defensively. That team we just played is probably one of the most prolific passing attacks that you're going to see, if not the district champions in that 5A division. So that was a heck of a deal. I know we're playing George Ranch, but these guys were tough. They were quick, and they provided a great opportunity for us to get, offensively. They posed a good opportunity for us to get better. A different type of 50 defense, 59 defense. They were stunning and stemming and staying low and stuff like that. And we played George Ranch, who was a reading defense, but they lined up the same way. And then, San Antonio did a little bit different, but they were lined up the same way. So it poses the same stuff, but our kids were able to adjust at halftime, and we found what we needed to do. And we, Isaiah here did a heck of a job running with the football.
245 yards of total offense for the Panthers. Isaiah, you had 86 of those yards on just 12 carries. Tell me a little bit about your performance tonight. What was it like to get this victory?
It felt good. Still need more work. Yeah.
The offensive line. You got to give credit to that offensive line now, Isaiah.
Yeah, they did good. Great offensive line. Big too.
Yeah, they're huge, huh?
Yeah.
Coach, I got to ask you.
Okay.
I know you had problems, in the spring trying to find non-district opponents. Then, George Ranch came on the schedule. San Antonio Marshall came on the schedule, and then eventually Mercedes in the end. People were going like, what are they doing,
Right.
Okay, so, but, you got to judge after the games are played. Mm-hmm. Now that you've gone through this, kind of talk to us about that, the experience. Do you feel like it was worth it?
Oh, absolutely. Back then, my whole deal is I'm very Weslaco proud and Mid-Valley proud. And so I'm a little bit deeper than just the X's and O's and a guy with a whistle. And I'm not just a football coach. So I look at the financial and the fiduciary opportunities that our kids and our school districts have to, have the opportunity to obtain. And what I mean by that is you have a chance to play, another Mid-Valley opponent and make $100,000 as opposed to going to San Antonio or playing next year in Houston, George Ranch. And, you know, I'd rather make money for our school district and the locals, the Mercedes. That's why I really have a high regard for Coach Adame. You know, he stepped up, played us, and they played well. I mean, they're going to be much better because they played the Panthers. Plus, they're going to have $50,000 in their coffers, so that's a good deal.
Yeah, definitely a great game tonight, a good crowd. With Mercedes, of course, Weslaco always shows up to the games. And, Coach, this is the game where Mercedes actually came out and kind of had you guys against the ropes in that first quarter. And, of course, Andrew with that pick six kind of sparked Weslaco coming back. And then that opening drive in the second half. I mean, that just kind of set the tone for the rest of the game.
Yeah, that was huge for us. I think our conditioning, our strength and conditioning in the summer, and Isaiah can talk a little bit more about the weights that we do. We do a lot of weights and running, and we've been really picking up the conditioning part. They don't like it, but I think the second half, because we ran the 8 or 10 gassers this Monday and Tuesday, I could tell that they just took a little step. They were a little slower the second half, and our kids started getting stronger, if you noticed. And so conditioning plays a big part, especially the type of offense that we run and the defense that we run. But we're very physical, and we're great physical conditioning.
Isaiah, talk a little bit about that condition. Sorry about that, Mike.
Go ahead.
Let's talk a little bit about that, the conditioning and what you have to go through and how it all paid off tonight.
Gassers. 8, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. They start.
Just run, huh?
Yeah. After every practice, we run. We run plays, and then after we have to run again and do gassers. And gassers really help with the conditioning and giving us the endurance to keep going and fighting in the game.
He ran through a couple of people their second and third efforts, and he could have done it with all that gassers. So that's a tribute to him.
Isaiah, it seems like this year, at least in the first 3 games with Coach Tony's offense, it's a run-by-committee kind of thing. Kind of talk to me about that, about the depth that you guys have. I mean, you guys have different backs that can do different things. Just kind of elaborate on that.
We have a lot of backs that can do different things that can help the offense, and a lot of backs. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
They help with the starting backs so we can rest and feel fresh for the next play.
Yeah, you got a stable coach. You got Isaiah is just one of many.
Yeah.
And that, that is very good to have, especially towards the end of the season, where these backs are kind of fresh, as the season continues.
Right. I think last week we had 12 guys touch the ball. I think tonight we might have had 11. We saved a couple of kids, didn't play, but Isaiah's the workhorse. If they can stop Isaiah, then everything else opens up on the outside. So he did a heck of a job against George Ranch. He ran real tough, and then against Marshall, the opening drive, he took the first one 80 yards, and they got called back. So he's just starting to get his stride. I'm real impressed with Isaiah.
I got to ask Coach Tony this, Coach.
Okay.
Now you guys have a bye, and we all know who the first district opponent is going to be.
Sure.
We've had 4 of these games of Tinaco Bowl. Now we're going to Tinaco Bowl number 5. However, this is the first time that there's going to be 2 weeks to prepare. But my question to you is, how in the world are you guys going to do that?
Well, I think you just got to be real methodical and just, lay out like a lesson plan. Day by day and build on it, what we've done and what we haven't done and what we want to accomplish and what we can take away from them and that kind of stuff. So it's going to be a real slow process, and then hopefully, we can explode with a lot of energy and a lot of physicality and endurance, that kind of stuff. So it's tough. You got to have to bite your deal, but, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give these guys next, I think, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off.
They deserve it, huh?
Yeah, they're just going to rest. They're not even going to, they're going to go work. They're going to go read a book. They're going to go to the movies. I don't want them anywhere around the football complex. Just the opposite of, being worried about Friday, Saturday, Sunday football. No, get away from here. Go home, go read a book, go see a movie. And then when you come back, not this weekend, next weekend, and then Monday we'll really hit it hard.
you go up against a spread offense here tonight, and of course there's a lot of spread offenses. How did this? I know this really didn't prepare you too much for the against Weslaco East, because that's going to be more of a running attack.
Right.
But it's going to the rest of the district. This is going to really prepare you for that.
Well, I think Weslaco East does have a good. They have a heck of a passing attack, and they do run the spread. They're in doubles and they're in trips and they do some stuff. But this is a little different. Everybody's a little different on the spread. They're more tweaked to screens or intermediate or deep routes. These guys are more deep to intermediate, and so and then more running. And so because Weslaco East likes to run the ball,
right.
They do run the ball out of the spread. So that's another variable we have to be ready for.
AJ, how is he doing? I know that he was a little shaken up during the games. He
just took a shot. I mean, he's fine, and we kept him out one. I think I called timeout, and then he was able to regain his composure and play.
Mark Lara has a couple of touchdowns already on the season.
Yeah, they got a little combination. They got a little chemistry going on.
Coach, talk to me about Andrew Olging. What a year he's having. He came into this game about 22, 23 tackles, and he probably had about 7 or 8 more, and then he had that interception for the touchdown.
Yeah, when we played against George Ranch, their coach came up to me and said, "Who the heck is that guy?" He just had a great game, and he tackled quite a bit, and he's just been getting better. We had him on the varsity as a sophomore last year, and he grew up a lot, made a lot of mistakes as a sophomore, just like everybody else. But it didn't hurt us. We were able to win the district title with him playing there. But I knew it was going to pay dividends down the road, just like Isaiah was starting inside linebacker when we played Laredo United in San Antonio. So we traditionally start some sophomores on defense, and we kind of feel like if you start them on defense and they can hit people, then we can bring them over to offense, and then that way it's a little different. So, yeah, Andrew's a heck of a guy. He'll probably be our leader next year.
Who is just kind of stood out tonight? Isaiah, of course. Andrew, any other particular players you want to give credit to?
Yeah, I think on the offensive line, you got to give credit to Brandon Perez and Rudy De La Torre. I think Richard Carmona had a good game. Our halfbacks, we ran it by committee. Diego and Coronado just ran halfback, ran tailback, ran all over the place, and he did a heck of a job too.
How good does it feel, Coach, to have that much depth? It seems like you have it year in and year out, but I mean, it seems like you're really easing the backs this year, no?
Well, it's just a philosophy. We run the misdirection offense, and I think it's just taking the misdirection offense to another level, because I could just give the ball to Isaiah all night long, and everybody keys Isaiah or Diego or whoever. But when I move Diego to tailback or move him to halfback, and we move this guy over here, and he's in the J back, and so now the linebackers are looking at where Diego's at. Well, now he's not there. He's over there, and he's playing a different position. So that kind of gives us a sleight of hand, if you will, And I don't have a problem playing anybody back there, because if you play a sophomore or a junior, I always want to have somebody coming back with ball handling experience. Well, you can't give ball handling experience unless you put them in the game. Yeah, I could give all the touches to all the seniors like Isaiah and Diego, but then you come back next year and nobody can carry the ball. So that's the purpose behind it. It's twofold.
It's something that you have in your system, huh? Kind of going all the way down to the middle school. I noticed that you have that on your roster where you have maybe 2 seniors, that are your captains in the backfield, but then you'll have a junior and a sophomore and et cetera, and it's
Absolutely.
kind of a rotation, I guess.
We mix them up. One guy will play the tailback, and then the next play he'll play the slot back, and then the fullbacks are pretty much standard, but everybody else is interchangeable.
All right, Coach, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here as the Weslaco Panthers 2-1 going into the bye. Next time we are here at Bobby Lackey Stadium, it'll be Weslaco versus Weslaco East for another Tinaco Bowl. But tonight, it is the victory for the Weslaco Panthers as they win it by a final score of 21-6. For everybody on the set here tonight, Mike Gonzalez, I'm Carlos Robledo. Good night, everybody.